Okay, hello students. Today we'll talk about irrigation and cropping patterns under the chapter Improvement in Food Resources. Okay, so let's quickly begin. Just let me, yeah, right. So why is it important? Because first of all, three things are there. First is water. So water is very, very essential in crops, and irrigation is related to crops and nothing else. Now, proper irrigation will improve our crop yield. It will give us more product, okay, from the our farming, okay. And last is and helps us to maintain the basically the soil health over a period of time. And cropping patterns also we'll see that strategic plantings, helps us maximize the production. So if you are just growing something here and there, maybe wheat here and something else here, so that will not help you get the maximum yield. So we'll discuss all this in this session today. Okay, part one is about irrigation. So let's talk about it. Irrigation is nothing but supplying of water to the crop at a specific interval of time whenever it is needed to ensure that plants are growing well and healthy. So if you have, ever planted a plant in your house, you might be watering it day and night, like morning and evening, like 2 times a day. But maybe if you're planting a aloe vera or cactus, that doesn't need much of, water. So it is very, very important, first of all, to make sure that when are you watering your crops, or when do they need water, and are you providing it at that time or not. It maintains, what it does is it maintains the consistent soil moisture, okay. And that helps because with water only, okay, let me tell you one more concept here. So if plants are here and they are taking water, these are water molecules, so nutrients with the water molecules will reach the plants as well. So for taking in nutrients as well, there is a requirement of water, because nutrients won't be absorbed easily by the plants. It comes with the water on it, okay. So that's why the plants, or the whole, you can say, the field needs water. Okay, ensures healthy development throughout the growing season and prevents wilting, stunted growth. Stunted means short or like stopped growth, you can say, stopped, which has stopped, not growing more. Okay, and complete crop failure. So that's why you need to give, because sometimes in summers, the land can get very, very dry, and the water table will, obviously decrease. It will go very down. So that's why you have to give water. Okay, now from where the traditional irrigation method, the earlier which were being used were wells, includes manually dug wells, okay, and even mechanized tube wells were made, right? And canals. So canal system is something, it looks like this, okay. Systems that divert rivers through the constructed. So if the river is flowing here, and if you have different, fields here, okay. So what will happen? They will construct canal system like this, and this will go into different, fields, and will provide it with water. Okay, water channels will be made, and tanks, small reservoirs collect the store rainwater for. So you can keep it in your tanks maybe, and then take it from that and water your field. Okay, now what would be the drawbacks? So water distribution is often uneven. Okay, so you cannot distribute it to from here if you're taking water. So even if you're providing it with a pipe or something, so you'll have to make sure, first of all, a lot of manual work is there. So you'll have to make sure that you are giving water to each part of the plant, and the whole field. Basically high labor cost, because obviously a big large field, you cannot do it by yourself, so you will need labor for it, and it will take a lot of cost. And significant water wastage through runoff and evaporation. A lot of water will be wasted as well, and you will have to plan before doing all this. Now we have developed modern irrigation methods, that is sprinkler system first, and the second one is drip system. So this works like an artificial rain. So what happened? This sprinkler system will be there, and it sprinkles water in different areas, and equal amount of water, or evenly the water spreads out. And the sprinkler system will be placed on the different areas of the, you can say, or you can just measure and place it in your field, and then it will evenly distribute the water. Okay, so every plant or every individual plant is getting enough water, right? Perfect for sandy soils that do not hold water well. So you can turn on the system time to time if the water, if the soil is unable to hold the water for a very long period of time. Okay, now great solution for uneven land where flood irrigation won't work, right? Now coming to drip system. Drip, here what happens, water drips slowly and directly at the plant's root zone. So drip system is something like this, and here your plants are there, right? So water will drip here, okay, in the plant root area like this. The water will drip. The water will drip here, drip by drip. Okay, saves a lot of water. Okay, because the drip, it is dripping, right? It's not just, drop by drop it's going. It's not just, being used by a pipe and a lot of water is wasted there. Okay, and ideal for fruits, vegetables, and plantation crops. So this is the system. Okay, why modern irrigation system actually works for us? Okay, so 50% of the water is being saved by this system. So this is very good system. Okay, and then there is 75% less soil erosion. So if you're not putting water with a lot of speed or a lot of pressure there, so the topmost layer of the soil will not get disturbed easily because you're sprinkling it, right? So the soil particle will remain settled down there only wherever it was. And it's not being washed up with a lot of water coming from one direction to the other. Okay, and also in drip system also the soil will remain at the same place because you have controlled water application here. Okay, and prevents the top soil loss. Now 30% better nutrients, so plants can absorb fertilizers more efficiently if the water delivery is precise. So that's what I was telling you. So water basically takes all the nutrients with itself and then it is being absorbed by the roots of the plants. So if you're providing water in a better way efficiently, so the nutrient in plants also will become better. Now higher yield, once you're consistent with your moisture, it will lead to very, very healthy plants and you can harvest a lot of yield next year or whenever you're gonna get it. Okay, now cropping pattern. So there are different strategies which are made to make the yield or production more efficient. Okay, so growing different types of crops in a planned sequence or in an arrangement helps us to improve our soil. It helps us to maximize health, maintain soil health, and prevent any kind of pest problems. We'll see how that works. Okay, so let's go one by one. Okay, so sometimes we grow mixed crops. What it does is, sorry, let me just go back. Yeah. Okay, what it does is basically first of all, what happens here? So you're growing two crops together. Okay, now when you are doing that on the same piece of land, you are growing crop A and crop B, or maybe more crops. Okay, so for example, wheat and mustard, you are growing bajra and cotton, groundnut and sunflower. So what happens? It acts as an insurance, first of all. So suppose if some pest came, wheat pest came, so this crop will be destroyed, but this still exists, right? So you will not lose your whole crop, and you can get still some amount of, yield from the different crop which you have grown. So if one crop fails, the other might still succeed. Plants use different nutrients and resources, increasing efficiency. So this plant might need, this side might need only nitrogen more, and this side need maybe, more, you can say phosphorus. Okay, so yet whole land will be having equal amount of nitrogen and phosphorus left, and it's not like all the nitrogen is being absorbed and then next year there will be a lack of nitrogen on your field. Okay, so those are the benefits of mixed cropping. Let's talk about intercropping. So intercropping is somewhere you are growing, okay, let me just annotate, yeah, different crops in alternate rows. So crop A, crop B, crop A, crop B, okay, crop A, like this you are growing on a field. Now, growing different crops in an alternate rows and specific patterns within the same field. For example, soybean, maize. So you can grow soybean, maize, like that. Okay, cotton, groundnut, sugarcane, potato. These examples you have to remember. Okay, now what is the benefit of it? First of all, soil fertility will be improved, right? Because when you are growing legumes help in nitrogen fixation and a lot of other nutrient fixation. So that's why it helps. Then creates natural barrier that slow down pests and disease spread. So for example, a disease for crop A, a pest arise. Okay, so first of all, it is infecting this area, but it is unable to directly or very easily reach this place because there is a gap, and this does not bother the pests do not care about the crop. Okay, so it will take some time to spread, and until then you can work out or take care of this part of your field. Okay, so that's why you can stop it, or it can act as a barrier for different kind of pests and diseases. Provides more total food from the small amount of area. So a lot of food is there. Okay, and in market also sometimes you'll see that something is it has high price compared to other. So maybe your one crop will end up having a lot of price at that time, so you will have benefit anyway. Okay, and different root depths access nutrient and different soil level. So again, at different soil has different kind of level. So some plant will have roots here on top layer, and some have at the bottom. So that will also help the plants to grow together in an efficient manner without hoarding for the nutrient or fighting for the nutrient. So crop rotation, how you can do this is another method. So mixed cropping you can do, intercropping, and the last one is crop rotation. Here in year one you can grow legumes are like the cereals which you grow. So plants like peas and beans, these seed plants, right, that add nitrogen to the soil. Legumes basically helps in fixing the nitrogen of the soil. So that will help you regain the nitrogen in the soil, right? Your soil will have nitrogen. Now next, you can grow cereal. Okay, so first legumes, then after the cereal I was talking about. Okay, so crops like wheat or rice that use nitrogen. So next year nitrogen can be used. Then you can use grow third year you can grow vegetables. So vegetables, crops with different nutrient needs and pest susceptibility. So again, some different needs will be here. Then after that you can grow green manure or basically fallow. So rest period or cover crops to rebuild the health. So these can be eaten by or used for making manure, or can be crops which can be used to feed these animal husbandry animals. So that can be grown in the fourth year, and then again your whole all the nutrients will be replenished, and then you can go back to the cycle. So you're rotating crops, right? One year you're growing something else, legumes, second year cereals, third year vegetables, fourth year fallow. So all this will help in regaining or reestablishing your nutrient cycle under your soil. Okay, so benefits are prevents nutrient depletion, I have already told, by alternating the crops. Then breaks pest cycle if any pest cycle is there. Okay, if pest is coming reoccurring again and again. Okay, so the host will be removed for one complete year, right? So the pest will move on to some other place or find or basically die, right, without their own food, right, and improve soil structure. So that is also through different root system it is being improved, right? Okay, so now the questions are there. I have given you answer, don't worry, but then again you have to try or give reasoning to the answers, that why the answer is so. Okay, you can give it in your head, you can type in the comments, I'll just check. Okay, okay, so question one is what or which irrigation method saves the most water? Sprinkler, drip, canal, and wells. This is well. Okay, there is space, let me just do this so that you can understand. This canal and then wells. Okay, question two. Growing wheat plus mustard on the same land is an example of intercropping, mixed cropping, obviously, right? Or two types of, crop is being grown on the same field. Crop rotation, another year like next year, next crop, okay? Monocropping. And then last is which cropping pattern helps maintain the soil fertility naturally? Crop rotation, intercropping, and mixed cropping, all of this. All of this because these are the cropping pattern which we use to improve the soil fertility and other things. Okay, now you can compare these methods. You can take a screenshot, you can pause and compare and read this, go through this, and if you have any doubt you can ask. Okay, so thank you so much for joining the session. I hope you enjoyed and learned something new here today, and if you have any doubt, feel free to reach out to me on my open profile. Thank you, take care, bye bye.